something simple. He called his mother more often, not to get advice, just to listen. Then he helped a neighbor carry groceries. Then he volunteered one Saturday at a food pantry. He didn't tell anyone, he didn't post it. He just did it, and something strange happened. He felt lighter, not because his problems vanished, but because his life had a direction that was not just me. A man who only lives for himself becomes a prison guard for his own mind. A man who lives for something bigger becomes free. If you want peace, ask yourself this: who can I make safer this week? It could be your kid, your wife, your friend, your younger brother, even a stranger. Peace grows when your focus moves from proving to protecting, from performing to providing. Start small, one helpful act a week. One call, one ride, one honest encouragement. You don't need to save the world. You just need to stop wasting your strength on pride. Purpose turns strength into calm. Even with better habits and better purpose, Mike still had one enemy left: control. He wanted to control how people saw him. He wanted to control outcomes. He wanted guarantees. And when life didn't obey, he would tighten up inside. That is the sixth lesson. Peace comes when you release what you cannot control. A weak man fights reality. A stronger man works with reality. Not because he is passive, but because he is wise. Mike learned this the hard way when a job opportunity fell apart. He had imagined a new life, more money, more respect. Then it vanished. He felt the old anger knocking. He wanted to blame everyone. He wanted to explode, but he stopped and asked, what is mine to do and what is not mine to do? He did the part that was his. He updated his resume. He made calls. He showed up on time. Then he let the rest go. He didn't pretend it didn't hurt. He just refused to let pain turn into poison. And this is where forgiveness enters. Not forgiveness that says, what happened was fine. Real forgiveness says, what happened was wrong, but I won't carry it forever. When you hold a grudge, you drink the anger and expect the other person to suffer. Peace requires you to put the cup down. If you want peace, practice one sentence when life feels unfair. This is painful, but I can handle it. Then do the next right step. And at night, release the rest. Say, I did what I could today. That is not giving up. That is being free. Control makes a man stiff. Surrender makes a man steady. When you stop wrestling the whole world, your shoulders finally drop. That is the beginning of real rest. By now, Mike was not perfect. He still had hard days, but he was changing in a way you could feel. His home got calmer. His face got softer, not weak. Softer, like a man who no longer needs to fight every shadow. That is the seventh lesson. Peace is a daily practice, not a one-time breakthrough. You don't arrive and stay there forever. You return again and again, like coming home. Mike built a simple night routine. He would turn the phone off early. He would sit in silence for 2 minutes like we talked about. He would name what he felt. Then he would name one thing he was thankful for, not a fake positive quote, a real thing. My body carried me today. I didn't snap today. I called my mom. Small gratitude keeps the heart warm. He also learned to speak to himself like a good father would. When he failed, he didn't insult himself. He corrected himself. That wasn't right, I will do better. Shame says you are bad. Wisdom says you did bad, now learn. That difference changes a man's whole life. And here is the quiet ending I want for you. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the presence of a steady man. A man who tells the truth, keeps small promises, chooses good company, serves others, releases control, and returns to the path when he slips. If you are listening and you feel stuck, don't make a big vow, make a small one. Tonight, 2 minutes of silence. Tomorrow, one small promise. This week, one helpful act. That is how a weak man becomes a peaceful man. Not by pretending, by practicing. And when you feel the old storm rising, remember this: you don't have to win every moment. You only have to choose the next right step. That is what strength looks like when it finally becomes peace. Some men don't look broken, they look fine, they go to work, they pay bills, they laugh at the right moments. But late at night, when the house is quiet, they feel a kind of tired that sleep can't fix. It's not just stress. It's a heavy feeling inside, like carrying a bag of stones that nobody else can see. I once knew a man like that. I'll call him Mike. Good man, strong hands, always said, "I'm good," even when his eyes were not good. He didn't talk about feelings, not because he was evil or cold, because he learned early that feelings were extra, and extra got you judged. Mike wasn't weak because he didn't have power. He was weak because he was at war with himself. He tried to look in control, but inside he was scared. Scared of failing, scared of being laughed at, scared of being seen as not enough. And when a man lives with that fear, he starts doing strange things to protect his pride. He would act tough over small things. He would argue to win, not to understand. He would keep score in his head. Who respected him, who didn't, who owed him. And the sad part is he didn't even enjoy his wins. Even after he got what he wanted, he still felt empty, like he was always chasing something that kept moving farther away. One night he sat in his car in the driveway, engine off, phone glowing in his hand. He had been scrolling for an hour, looking at other men's lives. Bigger muscles, better money, new trucks, happy families. He told himself it didn't matter. But his chest felt tight and his thoughts felt loud. That's how it starts for many men, not with a big disaster, with a slow leak inside the soul. If you want peace, you have to stop pretending you don't need it. Peace doesn't come from looking strong. It comes from becoming honest. And honesty begins with one simple lesson. You must notice what is really happening inside you before you can change anything outside you. Most men don't lose peace because life is hard. They lose peace because they never sit still long enough to hear their own truth. So in this first step, I'm not asking you to fix your whole life. I'm asking you to pause, just pause. Tonight, before you sleep, take 2 minutes. No phone, no noise. Ask yourself one question quietly. What am I avoiding failing? Don't fight the answer. Don't judge it. Just name it. Fear, shame, anger, loneliness. That small honesty is not weakness. That is the door to peace opening. The hard truth is this: a man can't find peace while he is still performing toughness, performing confidence, performing like nothing hurts. That performance may earn respect for a moment, but it steals your rest at night. Because deep down you know it's not real and your body keeps the score. Mike learned to hide early. He learned jokes were safer than honesty. He learned anger got more attention than sadness. So when life pressed him, he didn't say, "I'm struggling." He said, "Whatever," and walked away. He didn't ask for help. He acted like he didn't need anyone. And the lonely part is he started to believe his own act. One Saturday, something small happened. His little nephew spilled a drink on the carpet, nothing serious, but Mike snapped like a dry branch. His voice got sharp. His face got hard, the room went silent. The child froze, and right then Mike felt that familiar heat in his chest, not power, panic, because he realized he wasn't in charge of his strength. His emotions were driving the car. Later that day, he sat alone and tried to justify it. People should be careful. I work too hard. No one respects me. That is what pride does. It turns pain into excuses. It keeps you from looking at the real wound. And the real wound was simple. Mike felt out of control inside, so he tried to control everything outside. Here is the second lesson a weak man must learn if he wants peace. You cannot heal what you refuse to admit. A grown man who can't say, "I was wrong," is not strong, he is trapped. Real strength is the ability to face yourself without running away. So Mike did one brave thing. He went back to his sister's house. He got down on one knee so he was eye to eye with that little boy. And he said, "I'm sorry I scared you. That was my fault. You didn't deserve that." The boy didn't need a speech. He just needed safety. And in that moment, Mike felt something rare, not victory, relief. If you want peace, practice this. When you mess up, don't defend yourself first. Tell the truth first. Keep it short. I was wrong. I raised my voice. I'm sorry. That simple habit breaks the cycle. It teaches your nervous system that you don't have to protect your ego all the time, and if you can't admit things to people yet, start with a notebook. Write one honest sentence each day. Today I felt. Today I feared. Today I acted tough, because this is not weakness. This is training. Peace comes when you stop lying to yourself. After Mike apologized, he expected life to feel better right away. But peace does not arrive like a package on the porch. It grows slowly like a muscle. And the next thing he learned surprised him. Some of his stress was not inside him. Some of it was around him. Mike had friends who fed his worst side, not because they were monsters, because they were tired too. They joked about everything serious. They made kindness sound soft. They called any quiet man weak. When Mike tried to do better, they laughed. When he tried to be calm, they pushed him to react. That is the third lesson. You can't heal in the same room that keeps cutting you. A weak man stays where he is applauded for the wrong things. A stronger man chooses his environment with care, not to look perfect, to stay peaceful. One night Mike was with those friends and the talk turned bitter. The complaints, insults, bragging, and that little poison called "I don't care." Mike felt the old heat rising. He wanted to prove himself. He wanted to win. Then he remembered the boy's face when he snapped. And he asked himself, do I want to be right or do I want to be free? He did something simple. He stood up and said, I'm heading out. No speech, no fight, just a clean exit. In the car, he felt lonely for a minute. Then he felt quiet, and that quiet felt like oxygen. If you want peace, start here. Stop giving your time to people who only respect your anger. Find one place where your nervous system can relax. One friend who listens. One gym where you can work without showing off. One church, one park, one quiet drive. Peace needs room to breathe. And if you have to stay around hard people because of work or family, set one boundary. A boundary is not a threat. It's a truth. I'm not talking like that. I'm not doing that today. You don't have to be loud, you just have to be clear. A man finds peace when he stops renting his mind to anyone who pulls him into chaos. Mike's next struggle was quiet but powerful. He did not trust himself. He would promise, then disappear. He would plan, then quit, not because he was lazy, because he was scared of the pain of trying. He would say, I'll start Monday, and Monday would come and go. Then he would hate himself for it. And that shame made him numb, and that numbness made him weaker. It was a loop. Here is the fourth lesson. Peace needs discipline, not motivation. Motivation is a failing. Discipline is a decision. A weak man waits until he feels ready. A stronger man keeps small promises even when he feels nothing. So Mike started tiny. He stopped making big speeches to himself. He picked one simple rule. Every morning he would make his bed. That's it, 2 minutes, no drama, no perfect life. Just one clear act that said, I am a man who follows through. At first it felt silly. But after a week something changed. His mind got quieter, not because the bed was magic, because his brain began to trust him. When a man keeps one promise, he gains a little respect for himself. And self-respect is calm. It doesn't need applause. Then he added one more promise. 10 minutes of walking. Press on day walk. That's discipline. That's how you stop being pushed around by moods. Peace. Choose one small promise you can keep daily. Make it so small you can't lie about. 2 minutes, 5 minutes, one page, one prayer, one glass of water. Peace is for actions, repeat with honesty. And when you fall off, don't punish yourself. Reset fast. A calm man doesn't beat himself up. He gets back on the path. As Mike got steadier, another question came up. What am I doing all this for? Because even discipline can feel empty if they have no meaning. A man can have money, muscles, and a clean house and still feel hollow when he lays head down. Mike realized it and live on prove. Win, protect, pride, but peace is not a trophy. Peace often shows up when a man stops staring at himself all day. That is the fifth lesson. A man finds peace through purpose and service, not by becoming a hero, but being useful in real life. When you help someone, your mind is all good way. The drama shrinks, ego quiets down. Mike started with something simple. He called his mother more often, not advice, just to listen. Then he helped a neighbor carry groceries. Then he volunteered one Saturday at a food pantry and anyone didn't post it. He just did it, and something strange happened. He felt like his problems vanished. His life had a direction that was not me. A man who lived for himself becomes a prison guard for his own mind. A man who lives for something becomes free. If you ask yourself this, who can I make safer this week? You get your friend, your brother, a stranger. Peace grows when your focus moves from proving to protecting, from performing to providing. Start small, one helpful week, one call, one ride, one honest encouragement. You don't need to save the world. You need to stop wasting strength on pride. Purpose turns strength on. Even with better habits, purpose still had one enemy left. Control. He wanted to control people. He wanted to control outcomes. He wanted guarantees. And when life didn't obey, he would tighten up inside. That is the sixth lesson. Peace comes when you release what you cannot control. A weak man fights reality. A stronger man works with reality, not because he's passive, but because he is wise. Mike learned he'd imagined life, more money, more respect. Then it vanished. He wanted to blame everyone. He wanted to explode. He stopped to ask, what am I doing? What am I doing? He did part of his. He updated his resume. He made calls. He showed up on time. It didn't hurt. He just refused to let pain turn his voice. This is where forgiveness says what happened was fine. Real forgiveness says what happens wrong, I won't keep forever. When you hold grudge, you drink anger, the other person suffer. Peace requires you to put the cup down. If you want peace, practice one sentence when life feels unfair. This is painful, but I can handle it. Then do the next right step. And at night, release the rest. Say, I did what I could say. I did not do being free. Control makes a man steady. Surrender makes a man steady. When you stop wrestling the whole world, your shoulders finally drop. That is the beginning of real rest. By now, Mike was not perfect. He still had changing a you could home after, like a man longer needs to fight every shadow. That is the 7th lesson. Peace is a daily practice, not a one-time breakthrough. You don't arrive and stay there forever. You return again and again like coming home. Mike built a simple night routine. He would turn the phone off early. He would sit in silence for 2 minutes like we talked about. He would name what he felt. Then he would name one thing he was thankful for, not a fake positive quote, a real thing. My body carried me today. I didn't snap today. I called my mom. Small gratitude keeps the heart warm. He also learned to speak to himself like a good father would. When he failed, he didn't insult himself. He corrected himself. That wasn't right, I will do better. Shame says you are bad. Wisdom says you did bad, now learn. That difference changes a man's whole life. And here is the quiet ending I want for you. Peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is the presence of a steady man. A man who tells the truth, keeps small promises, chooses good company, serves others, releases control, and returns to the path when he slips. If you are listening and you feel stuck, don't make a big vow, make a small one. Tonight, 2 minutes of silence. Tomorrow, one small promise. This week, one helpful act. That is how a weak man becomes a peaceful man. Not by pretending, by practicing. And when you feel the old storm rising, remember this, you don't have to win every moment. You only have to choose.